Great, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, I'll start off with something positive about AB 495, and that is, it is true, it is demonstrably better than the prior version. And you know, and I do think the intent of my colleague from San Fernando and a lot of the people who have spoken in support of the bill are good. I mean, I don't really doubt the intent there, but also, you know, in between all the good thoughts and reasons for supporting this bill, there were a lot of comments made shaming people on this side of the aisle for having different opinions. I don't know if it was me in particular, or perhaps my colleague from San Diego, or maybe somebody else, maybe an influential pastor in this state. I'm not really sure. But if you read the bill, like my good friend from Burbank suggested that we do, the language in AB 495 prior to the amendment was extremely broad, and it applied to just about everybody. Now, the language has been amended substantially, but there are multiple sections of the bill. In terms of a person receiving custody of an individual, there is a long list of documentation, as my colleague from Burbank has pointed out. But the caregiver authorization is not that. And it actually says it straight up in the bill. And hey, good news for us. And I recommend you take my colleague from Burbank up on his offer to read the bill, because the caregiver affidavit is actually in the text of the bill. And that's good, because I'm a picture book kind of guy. And very specifically, it says this: warning to local educational agencies and healthcare service, permission to read.
Without objection.
Thank you. Warning to local educational agencies and healthcare service providers. A seal or signature from a court is not required. This form is not required to be notarized. Warning to caregiver. Do not sign this form if any of the statements above are incorrect, or you will be committing a crime punishable by a fine. So if somebody's coming in to get the kid and they really shouldn't get the kid, they're probably not worried about that section. But all it requires is box number 6 that says, I'm unable to contact the parents or other person having legal custody of the minor at this time to notify them of my intended authorization. It very specifically says they don't even have to tell the parents. So it's not crazy to think that some of us over here might have a little bit of concern about that. And so I think I'm not surprised, but the mischaracterization, not by us, the mischaracterization by the other side of our concerns of this bill. It's actually in the text of the bill. And anybody who doesn't believe me, please pull it up, because it's actually right there. The authorization is right there. The courts are not required to be involved in this documentation. So I would like to go back at what my colleague from Nicholas said. Is that where you're still from, Nicholas? East Nicholas. There's no West Nicholas, by the way. If the intent really is to plan, let's get behind that. I could do that. I could support that. But I am actually thankful to the activists out there that did raise hell on this. And if there was not enough speaking about this the first time, I'm sorry, there's 2,000 bills a year here that I got to think about. So I'm actually thankful for those people that raised concern on this bill to educate me about the problems of the bill. So I would take the opportunity to go back and read this bill. But please don't dismiss our concerns as just shameful, as trying to stroke hate in our community or something like that.
30 seconds.
Because there are legitimate concerns, but I will give you this. The bill, I'll say this, I'll just end on a good note, is demonstrably better than it was initially. But it's still very, very broad. And if this is about planning, we would like to work with you on that, because we actually agree. Give the parents the opportunity, if there's a crisis with their child, to find somebody to care with them at that time. With that, I ask for a no vote.